The number one item on every prepper's shelf is already dead. Liquid bleach loses its disinfecting power within 6 months. After 12 months in a warm garage, it is chemically identical to salt water. The military figured this out decades ago. A single pound of the replacement costs under $10 and purifies over 10,000 gallons of drinking water. To match that with liquid bleach, you would need dozens of bottles, all of which expire before you ever need them. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what to buy, how to store it, and the 6-step process to turn it into safe drinking water for years. Welcome to the channel. This is where we dig beneath the surface of preparedness advice that governments hand out like participation trophies. We do not repeat what FEMA puts on a pamphlet. We ask why the pamphlet leaves out what actually works. If that sounds like your kind of thinking, subscribe. You are joining a community that demands the real answer, not the convenient one. Let me show you where this knowledge actually comes from. The germicidal properties of chlorine were first recognized in the early 1800s. European physicians observed that chlorine compounds could arrest the spread of disease in contaminated water. During cholera outbreaks across Europe, doctors began experimenting with chlorine-based treatments to disinfect public water supplies. The results were dramatic. Death rates plummeted in treated areas. But the landmark moment came in 1908. Jersey City, New Jersey, became the first municipality in the United States to implement continuous chlorination of its public water supply. That single decision transformed public health. Epidemiologists have since credited water chlorination as one of the most significant disease prevention advances in modern history. It did not win a Nobel Prize. It did not make anyone rich. It just stopped people from dying. Now here is what matters for our conversation. The compound chosen for that work was not liquid bleach. Municipal systems selected calcium hypochlorite. The military made the same choice. For over a century, United States military field purification kits have relied on calcium hypochlorite. Not because it is exotic, because it survives, it travels, it works when supply chains collapse. The World Health Organization made the same call. In disaster zones, in refugee camps, in regions where infrastructure has been obliterated, the WHO deploys calcium hypochlorite, not liquid bleach, the granular form, the stable form, the form that does not rot on a shelf. So if governments, militaries, and the WHO all use this compound, why does every emergency guide you have ever read tell you to store liquid bleach instead? That question is exactly why this channel exists. We maintain a research archive we call The Vault. It contains deep dives on water purification, food preservation, medical preparedness, communications, and dozens of other categories where the official guidance falls short. No filler, no recycled blog posts, original research with cited sources. If that sounds useful, the link is in the description. But stay here, because what comes next is the chemistry that explains everything. Now let me show you exactly why your bleach is already failing. Sodium hypochlorite is the active ingredient in liquid bleach. It is unstable. From the moment it is manufactured, it begins to decompose. The sodium hypochlorite molecule breaks apart into sodium chloride and oxygen, that is table salt and air. Heat accelerates this process. Light accelerates it. Even sitting in a sealed bottle at room temperature, the degradation is relentless. A standard bottle of household bleach starts at 5.25% to 8.25% available chlorine. That is the concentration printed on the label. But that number is only accurate on the day it was bottled. Within 6 months, under normal conditions, that concentration drops significantly. Within 12 months, especially in a warm environment like a garage or a storage shed, usable chlorine can fall below 1%. 1% is the critical threshold. Below that, disinfection fails. Your bleach still smells like bleach. It still looks like bleach, but it cannot kill the pathogens that will make your water lethal. It is a chemical corpse in a familiar bottle. Now compare that to calcium hypochlorite. In dry granular form, this compound contains 65 to 73% available chlorine. Read that again, 65 to 73%. Versus a liquid that starts at 8.25 and falls from there. Properly stored in a sealed container, kept cool and dry, calcium hypochlorite maintains that potency for a decade. Some sources in the preparedness community report 15 to 20 years, though independent lab verification at those durations is limited. What is not debated is this. 1 pound of calcium hypochlorite can treat over 10,000 gallons of water. 1 pound. That is not a marginal improvement over liquid bleach. It is an entirely different category of capability. Orders of magnitude, more effective per unit of weight. Orders of magnitude, more stable over time. And here's the part that should make you angry. FEMA knows this chemistry. The CDC knows this chemistry. The Red Cross knows this chemistry. Every one of those organizations recommends that you store liquid bleach, the product that fails on the exact timeline when you would need it most. So what does this actually cost you? A 1-pound bag of calcium hypochlorite runs $4 to $10. You can find it at any pool supply store, any hardware store. It is sold as pool shock treatment, $4 to $10 for over 10,000 gallons of purified drinking water. Now try to match that with liquid bleach. At the standard dosing rate of 8 drops per gallon, a single bottle of household bleach treats a few hundred gallons at best, and that is only if you use it before it degrades. To match the capacity of 1 pound of calcium hypochlorite, you would need dozens of bottles. Every one of them starts losing potency the day you buy it. Every one of them must be rotated out every 6 months if you want reliable disinfection. That means recurring trips to the store, recurring costs, and a logistical burden that most people will quietly abandon after a year or two. The bleach sits in the garage. The expiration passes. Nobody checks. Nobody replaces it. And the preparedness plan that existed on paper dissolves into nothing. Meanwhile, a single bag of calcium hypochlorite sits in a sealed bucket and waits for 5 years, for 10 years. It does not care. There is a reason this product has no advertising budget. It cannot be patented. It cannot be branded in any meaningful way. A single purchase lasts a decade. There is no subscription model, no recurring revenue, no profit margin that funds a marketing campaign. It is a commodity chemical that costs a few dollars and never needs replacement. That is why you have never seen a commercial for it. If this is the kind of knowledge that changes your actual capability and not just your comfort level, hit subscribe. Share this with someone who still thinks their bleach bottle has them covered. The link to the vault is below. Stay here, because before I give you the exact procedure, I need to be honest about what this can and cannot do. Calcium hypochlorite is extraordinarily effective against bacteria and viruses. That covers the vast majority of waterborne threats you would encounter in an emergency. But it does not kill everything. Cryptosporidium is a parasitic organism that is resistant to chlorine disinfection. If you suspect cryptosporidium contamination, you need either a filter rated at 1 micron or smaller, or you need to bring the water to a rolling boil before chemical treatment. That is a real limitation. I'm not going to pretend it does not exist. Second, calcium hypochlorite is a strong oxidizer. It can cause chemical burns on skin and eyes. If mixed with acids or ammonia, it produces toxic chlorine gas. This is not a casual product. It demands respect. Store it in a sealed container away from organic materials, away from fuel, away from any acidic substance. Third, the stock solution you mix from the granules degrades just like liquid bleach does. Once you dissolve calcium hypochlorite in water, the clock starts ticking. You have 1 to 2 weeks before that solution loses reliability. This is exactly why dry storage is the entire point. You mix what you need when you need it. Now, it is possible that government agencies looked at the handling requirements and judged them too complex for a mass public recommendation. That is a legitimate concern. I acknowledge it. But the alternative they recommend is a product that quietly fails in your garage while you believe you are protected. And the consequence of drinking untreated water in a real emergency is not discomfort. It is dysentery. It is cholera. It is death. Knowing how to handle this compound is not optional complexity. It is essential capability. Now that you know what it can do and what it cannot, here is exactly how to use it. Step 1. Purchase calcium hypochlorite with 65 to 73% available chlorine. It must list calcium hypochlorite as the sole active ingredient. No algicides, no clarifiers, no fragrances, no additives of any kind. Pool shock is the most common retail form. Read the label carefully. Step 2. Store it in a sealed, airtight container. A gamma seal bucket is ideal. Keep it in a cool, dry location below 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Away from direct sunlight, away from organic materials, away from any fuel or acid. Step 3. When you need to purify water, prepare a stock solution. Add 1 heaping teaspoon of calcium hypochlorite granules to 2 gallons of clean water. Stir until dissolved. This produces a stock solution of approximately 500 milligrams per liter of available chlorine. Step 4. Add the stock solution to your untreated water at a ratio of 1 part stock solution to 100 parts water. That works out to roughly 1 fluid ounce of stock solution per gallon of water you want to treat. Step 5. Wait a minimum of 30 minutes. Do not rush this. 30 minutes of contact time is required for reliable disinfection. Step 6. After 30 minutes, check for a faint chlorine smell. If you can detect it, the water has sufficient residual chlorine and disinfection is complete. If you cannot smell chlorine, add another dose of stock solution, stir, and wait another 30 minutes. Remember, the stock solution itself should be used within 1 to 2 weeks. After that, mix a fresh batch from your dry supply. 1 pound treats over 10,000 gallons. You will not run out. This is not fringe science. This is not a hack. This is not an internet rumor dressed up as preparedness advice. This is what the institutions that actually need clean water have been using for over a century. From the first continuous chlorination system in Jersey cities in 1908, to military field kits carried into every conflict zone since, to World Health Organization deployments in the worst disasters on Earth. The compound is the same, the chemistry is the same. The only thing that changed is that somebody decided the public should be told to buy liquid bleach instead. You now know better. A single pound, under $10, available at any pool supply store or hardware store with no restrictions and no special permits. Storable for a decade in a sealed bucket in your closet. Capable of producing over 10,000 gallons of safe drinking water. Your bottle of bleach cannot do 10. You now know something that most preparedness guides will never tell you. You can act on it today. For the cost of a fast food meal, you can secure your family's water supply for years. Share this video with someone who deserves to know. This is the kind of knowledge that should be common, not obscure. Next week, we are exposing another institutional blind spot. Another case where what the experts use for themselves is not what they tell you to use. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Stay prepared, stay informed, stay skeptical.